Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Batwing battle set from the Spin Master line for the upcoming Flash movie that's coming out this summer. So this is basically just a set of the Batwing with 3 figures. This is an Amazon exclusive set. There's going to be another kind of mass retail set that has the Batwing, the same Flash figure, and then of course Batman, because you know it's the Batwing. But this is an Amazon exclusive variant that has Flash, Supergirl, and then this exclusive figure Namek. Now I'm not super familiar with Namek. When I hear Namek, I think Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, of course. But this is apparently a character that is, I had to look it up. He is a Kryptonian scientist, and usually runs with Zod. So he's kind of part of Zod's crew. And he kind of has a very similar looking body, but I'll do a comparison later. They actually are different molds. But yeah, so this is kind of cool. It comes in this kind of closed style packaging as opposed to the open style packaging the mass release has. Some nice pics here, you know, stock photos of the toys themselves. Shows Flash driving the Batwing because, again, we don't have Batman here in this set. Just have the Flash logo up top, Flash logo on the sides. Got DC logo over there. Showing me how to put the wings on the Batwing. Makes sense. And then again, just more stock photos here on the back. So not too much going on, but still nice packaging. I like it, and I'm happy to get the exclusive figure. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here's everything you get in the box. We have the 3 figures and the Batwing itself. Now, one thing I want to mention right off the bat, there are no accessories for the figures. Some of these releases have accessories, some of them do not. This one does not have any accessories for the figures. I'm going to put these figures off to the side for the moment. We'll take a closer look at them in a minute. But I wanted to take a look at the Batwing itself because it's pretty big. It's very wide here, as you can see. I would say probably a good 15 inches wide if I had to guess. But it looks cool. I think it's neat. It does have little landing gear here that you can flip up. That flips up. That flips up. And then this one flips back. It's aesthetically impressive, but I feel like it's kind of boring. I mean, one, it feels very hollow. It's very light. The wings, especially the plastic, feels hollow. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, it has the opening canopy, which is cool. You have some nice translucent plastic there. And they did kind of, it's going to be impossible to see, but they have what looks like a console, but there's not really anything molded in it. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it's really just for the landing gear. I thought maybe it was supposed to be a console. It's just the area they had to hollow out for the landing gear. So there is a seat in there. They did mold a seat, as you can see that. But, I mean, they could have taken a minute to put a joystick or some kind of computer terminal or mold something in there. Even if you don't put stickers inside, I get that. Or include a sticker sheet and have us put the stickers in. I don't know. Just something. I'm also, I felt like these were going to open up, but they don't. I don't know. I just feel like we've kind of gone away from the days where vehicles had features like, you know, spring-loaded missile launchers or some, I think the original one had a capture claw or something, and I guess maybe you can try to simulate that here. But just something. I don't know. Give it some kind of play feature. I mean, yes, the landing gear is nice, but it's kind of goes back to my same complaint with the Hawkman ship from Black Adam. It was just a rectangle with wings. It did nothing. They didn't bother to mold any detailing into it. It just feels like if they put a little bit more effort in, and I would be willing to pay a couple more bucks if they're willing to put some extra detail into it. Now, I will say that this set is $35, and if you kind of figure that the figures are usually $8 a piece, again, no accessories, but we'll say $20 for the figures, you're kind of paying $10 to $15 for this. And I feel like for $10, that's fair. $15, maybe a little much, but still all right. Because it is fairly big. It's impressive with its size, and I do like the aesthetic of it. I just wish it did a little bit more. The wings do come in a separate piece. You just kind of clip them in. You can kind of see the seam running right there. They are separate in the box, and they snap right in. I think you can take them off. I had the same problem with the Hawk ship from Black Adam, but I did eventually get those wings off, so I'm pretty sure you can take them off if you need to. Now, of course, we have to put a figure inside, and of course, we did not get a Batman with this release, but I do have the Batman from the previous pack that I reviewed. Let me take his accessories out of his hands. So this is the Keaton Batman from the 5-pack that I took a look at earlier in the week. So we will drop him in here. And he fits in pretty well. Make sure he is all the way in. I guess that's as far as the feet can go in. But that should work. Cool. Fits in there nice. You can see him through the canopy. I think that's cool. That works. I mean, any of the figures really should have no trouble fitting in here. Let's try. We'll try Flash, because on the packaging it does show Flash flying it, although I don't know why. They always try to give, like, Superman and Flash vehicles. And I'm like, guys, these heroes have alternate means of transportation. They don't need vehicles. But there you go. You can fit Flash inside as well. So, Batwing's cool. A little lackluster in terms of, you know, features, but just aesthetically, I think it looks good. And the figures fit inside nicely. But I wish it had missile launchers or a capture claw or some kind of play feature just to give it a little bit more. But yeah, it's okay. Alright, so here are the three figures out of the packaging. We'll start with the Flash here in the center. And if you saw my review of the 5-pack that I did earlier in the week, it's exactly the same figure. I mean, just to do a quick comparison, you can see them next to each other. All the same details, all the same paint applications, same articulation. It's exactly the same figure. It just doesn't have the lightning streaks. Articulation-wise, the head can move side to side. You have a hinge and a rotation in the shoulder. You have a hinge and a rotation in the elbow. Nothing in the wrist. From the elbow down is one solid piece. Nothing in the waist. Ball joints in the hip. Kick about that far. Kick farther forward. You have a thigh swivel there. You have a hinge and a rotation in the knee. Basically the same joint as the elbow. And then from the knee down, the boots are one solid piece. No ankle tilt or anything like that. But it's a good looking figure. I think they did a good job. See if I can get in here a little bit closer. Nice job on the face. The eyes are actually painted kind of nicely, I think. So, it's a cool looking figure. But it is exactly the same as the previous release. I think he's going to be packed in a couple different sets, and they're probably all going to be exactly the same. Next up is Supergirl. She has all the same articulation as the Flash. Little cloth cape here. Kind of thin, but very cool, very nice. I like the cloth as opposed to the nylon. It holds up better, so I appreciate that. And again, this is just exactly the same figure as the one from the 5-pack, so putting them side by side, you can see that they are the same. Same head sculpt. I think the paint on the face on the first one is a little bit better. Her eyes look a little messed up, but... And then you can also see that her head is kind of mounted on a tilt. Like, it's a little bit tilted on this one, but this one I feel like it's even more so. So she's constantly just kind of like looking up. But for the most part, same figure. But it's a good figure. Good articulation. I like the costume. Simplistic, but I think it looks cool. And then we move on to our exclusive figure. And we have Namek. He's really nicely done. He's got a lot of molded in detail. His mask is kind of weird. It's almost got like a elephant trunk kind of look to it. And again, he's got the same articulation as everybody else. Now, of course, his shoulder movement is going to be hindered by this shoulder pad. But not as much as Zod's was. Out to the side, hindered, but he can still go pretty far forward, pretty far back. And then he's got a little bit more range of motion in the hips. I feel like the thinner figures, you know, they can't kick out to the side as far. And I wanted to do a comparison with Zod because I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, they just kind of reused Zod's body and popped a new head on it. But it's actually not the case. I mean, it is a completely different mold. You can see that the shoulder pad piece is completely different. Zod's got a higher collar. The shoulder pads themselves look different. The chest molding is completely different. He's got this kind of like textured chainmail going on here with the bandolier. The arms are completely different. The gloves, the forearms, they're all molded different. On the back here, again, completely different. I mean, they obviously look similar because I believe they're supposed to be on the same team, but it is actually completely differently molded. So I think that's kind of cool. I think that's neat because they very easily could have just taken this body, popped a new head on it, and said, here you go, you know, it's another guy for Zod's army. But it's actually a completely different mold. And they look great together. I think they look really cool. I think it's funny that we have two members of Zod's army. They're both exclusive to Amazon because Zod was the exclusive figure to the 5-pack. And now Nam-Ek is the exclusive figure to this set. So I don't know what they're doing for villains in the main line. I think there's going to be a evil Flash or reverse Flash, whatever they're calling him. That's going to be a single-carded figure. But other than that, seems like most of the villains are exclusive to these Amazon sets. But it's a fun set. Honestly, I like it. I think the figures are great. The Batwing, like I said, it's nice aesthetically, and it's very big. I just wish it had more in terms of features. Maybe some spring-loaded missiles or a capture claw, or maybe just, you know, some interior molded consoles or something for the cockpit would have been neat. Just a little bit more love put into it. But other than that, I think this set for $35 is pretty fair. I wish the accessories came with the figures, because that is a bit of a bummer. The 5-pack had the accessories, but this one does not. So I guess it's their way of trying to get you to buy both sets for the accessories and the exclusive figures. So if you bought both, like I did, you're going to wind up with an extra Flash and Supergirl here. But they're good figures. You know, I guess it's okay to have a backup. They're fairly inexpensive. And I feel like the value of the Batwing comes out to about $10 to $15 when you think about what these single figures go for. I feel like that's okay. Any more than that, I feel like would be pushing it, because it is big. So I feel like, you know, 10 to 15 is fair. But if it was trying to get into the 20-30 range, I'd say, no, that's too much. It needs to have some kind of features to it. But for what it costs, I think it's fair. Plus, you can always wait for a sale. These sets usually go on sale. But with it being Amazon exclusive, I wasn't sure, especially with the exclusive figures, so I wanted to kind of jump on it. But I feel the price is fair. Any more would have been too much. I feel like it's right at the upper bound of fair. But if you can get it on sale, even better. So it's a nice set. I like it. I'm happy to have picked it up. I'll be interested to see what else we're getting. I know that there is a Batmobile set that has Batman and the Flash, the younger Flash version. I don't know if that's going to have an Amazon exclusive variant or not. We'll have to wait and see. But as it stands, if you're buying all the sets to get all the exclusive figures, you're going to wind up with, I think, at least one duplicate of every character. So I guess you'll just have some spares. But they're nice. They're relatively inexpensive, and I think they're pretty good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.